great day, sports world. What's up to all the sports lovers, the haters, the addicts, and the fanatics out there? This is Larry Patterson for GT365. That's Game Time 365 Sports, right here on the GTSN. That's the Game Time Sports Network. This is the final mock draft before draft day hits, and that is tomorrow. Um, I know my guy Amon is excited. He's got his first round, the first overall pick. Got his guy on the board already in Fernando Mendoza. Y'all got the 14th. Oh nah, y'all ain't get that junk. Yeah, y'all ain't get that yet. How you doing today, man?
Gee, man, I
Uh,
was doing I was doing good until you came with that little BS right there. You pulled off, man. You know I'm still sore about that, but nevertheless, man, it's draft eve. Um, all the hard work, all the evaluations, all the tape watching from everybody that does it. This is kind of our Super Bowl in the off season for us. So yeah, man, I'm excited. I know you shaking over there because your camera's shaking because you scared what's about to come to your divisions starting tomorrow. So I would be a little shaky if I was you. But other than that, I'm doing good, man. How about yourself?
man, I'm doing well, man. Hooking this the daily things of producing the show and everything like that. I mean, other than that, we good. I'm ready for tomorrow night. We don't have a pick to bring anybody, but we'll be there for the second day, and we'll bring y'all the results and what we think, what we thought about the draft on a Friday episode. Um, I know you're gonna be asleep on Thursday night, getting ready for the next day, so but
Be cooked, boy.
we'll give y'all a recap of everything, and then we'll give y'all a recap of everything from day two and day three as well, and what we think about the overall draft grades of every team that'll come the week after. So, thank you guys for tuning in, and don't forget to like, share, subscribe. It is free, So, without further ado, we're gonna go ahead and go to the first pick, in which we already know what that is. Um, you want to go ahead and introduce the? Well, no, I got the first pick, so I'm on the ones. Yeah, I got odds. You got evens. Fernando Mendoza is the first pick of the 2026 NFL Draft. Um, yeah, man. I think this is the clear cut spot that y'all need to go here. Get your signal caller in there. Kirk Cousins is in there for this year. He's probably will be taking over until they feel like Mendoza is ready. And I think this is the clear cut spot that you can go to right here. You got any thoughts on this before we go to? Because we've been already talking about this, so there's no need to sit there spending like 5 minutes on it. But I think this is the clear cut spot for y'all to go to. What's your thoughts on this?
Yeah, man. I mean, it's not much here to talk about, man. This was known ever since January 19th, Nets championship. Hey, that he was going to be the number one overall pick. As you can tell by free agency, what they did to surround him, get Linderbaum from Baltimore, that they were kind of like setting the stage for them to take a quarterback. So I mean, we don't like I said, we don't have to spend much time here. I'm excited. The Raider Nation should be excited. It's been a long time. It's been since 2007 since we've had a number one overall pick, and we know how the first time we had a number one overall pick turned out. It didn't last that long. So it's a new era, new regime, new coaches. Hey man, let's just get this thing rocking and rolling. See if we can just compete and be ready to challenge for playoffs in the next couple of years.
Did you see a recent interview that Jamarcus Russell did when it was like people coming up to him, calling him a bus and everything like that?
50 million in the bank. You can call me what you want to call me. We keeping it real here.
Damn right. So for I think we do have the second pick in. Second pick in this year's draft, and that's your pick right there, David Bailey, edge out of Texas Tech, 6'4", 250. Um, this is your pick right here. And I think this is the spot for the Jets to go in. You got Will McDonald on one side. David Bailey on the other side. You got anything else to elaborate on that?
Nah, man, it was as simple as hey, what the Jets need, they need impact playmakers right now on offense and defense, and the best defensive player on the board that fits what I believe they want to do is David Bailey. He's a true three down edge rusher. He's going to come off the ball. He's going to give you counter moves, and I think for Aaron Glenn, he needs to be like I said, he needs impact players right now. Taking the next guy, what we all know is probably Alvaro Reese. You don't know if he's playing off ball or playing the edge full time. What's your plan with them? And then I think with Bailey here, you know exactly what you're going to get. And I think to set the foundation for that Jets defense and that team, you couldn't ask for a better pick here than David Bailey.
Yeah, it's like I said, him and Will McDonald should make a good tandem on the on the two sides, and that what a way to start. Man, he's a horse of a player too. Going on to pick number three, I think. No, pick number three. And pick number three is CC Manoa, offensive tackle out of Miami. Have you been hearing with the? I think you even brought it to me. What the Cardinals plan on doing, and they're saying that don't be surprised if the Cardinals go Jeremiah Love, and you had pointed that out to me. I think it was last week, a couple weeks ago. But to me, if I'm a GM and I'm building this team, it doesn't really make sense for me to go and get a Jeremiah Love, especially when you just bought in that Tyler Algier and when you did sign James Conner back, and then you don't have no signal caller for the future. And then this season you're already relying on Jacoby Brissett, and I know the Gardner Minshew. I think it really wouldn't make sense for a team to go in and all in on a running back just to say you got a weapon in the building and say that weapon doesn't pan out and you don't have any structure around that weapon. That's just my only thing about it. But I think CC is the pick here for the Cardinals. And you got anything else to elaborate on that?
Yeah, the only thing I agree with you in a normal draft, this is probably where you trade out if you don't feel like taking a tackle at three. But this is not a normal draft. This is a draft where there's maybe one, two, three, maybe five blue chippers, and this is quote unquote a down draft, right? So for me, if I'm the Arizona Cardinals, I'm the GM, right? If I can't get Dallas to come up, if I can't get whoever to come up, Kansas City to come up, if they want to get Reese or Bailey, whatever the case may be, I'm sitting there thinking, I'm stuck picking at three. If I don't have no trade partners, right? And the state of my football team, I don't have. I need impact football players, right? So why not come out this draft with one of probably the best player overall in this class, taking them at three. Nobody's gonna fuss at you for doing that when there's only, five blue chippers. You got maybe Reese, Downs, Love, Styles, and you pick one more if you want, whoever that may be. If you can come out, Love, if you want to come out of the draft with one of those guys, yes, it's not the sexiest positional value pick, but Jeremiah Love can be your Bijan Robinson in 2-3 years. So I understand. I look at it from that point of view. If I'm the Arizona Cardinals,
Yeah. Um, so I think that they'll go there with the third overall pick. The fourth overall pick. Oh God, I can't talk. The fourth overall pick. You want to announce it?
no, go ahead. You can let it go.
Pick the Tennessee Titans select Jeremiah Love, running back out of Notre Dame, 6 foot 214. Um, I like this move for these guys right here, with especially with Tony Pollard becoming a free agent. Give Cam Ward some help with a weapon that you can use out of the backfield, especially and in the pass game as well. Um, it doesn't get any better than this. And then with the weapons that they do have, the limited weapons that they do have. Um, well, no, not the limited weapons, because they did bring in Wandale Robinson. They still have A.O. Maynard. They still got Jameer DK that they drafted last year, the two wide receivers. So it's in with Tony Pollard there too. It should be a good dynamic duo as a weapon. I mean, a dynamic duo as a threat right there. So I think Cam Ward is suited up good going into the future with this pick right here. What do you have to add to that?
Yeah, man. I think with you taking CC at three, it kind of like it puts me. It's two players, right? And I think Robert Sala and Brian Dable gonna be standing at each other playing chicken when they're on the clock, and they only got 8 minutes. It's like do Sala want his Fred Warner, or do Brian Dable want his running back? He had yeah, he had Saquon. He's seen it. What a good running back can do for you. And ultimately, I think you want to help Cam. If this is about Cam Ward's development, you're going to do everything in your power to make sure he succeed. You're going into a new stadium in 2027, so you need the marquee names, and I think Cam Ward and Jeremiah Love as being the two marquee names on offense. That's not a bad thing to put out there for this the ticket holders and stuff. And plus, I think this is a deeper linebacker class that people give it, credit for. And it's not a great running back class. So I think once the drop off after Jeremiah Love, you got Jadarian Price, Emmett Johnson, Nick Singleton, those guys in later rounds, Mark Washington that we talked about from Arkansas. So I think you go get the blue chip. I go get the blue chipper here. And then I can come back and get a Jacob Rodriguez in the second round, Anthony Hill in the second round, Galladay from Cincinnati in the second round. So I think
Yeah.
I'll get the blue chip guy here. Yes, you missed out on Sonny Styles. It could be your Fred Warner, but Jacob Rodriguez do just as much as Sonny Styles. Maybe not at a athletic peak as Sonny Styles, but he's a damn good football player from what me and you seen on tape and on film here these last past couple months. So that was my ultimate sway to go into Jeremiah Love to have Cam Ward out number 4 overall.
Yeah, if you can get Ward at four overall and then circle around and get Rodriguez, I'm certainly hoping that. But if you can get Rodriguez, man, that'll set your future up for the better right there. Going to pick five, you got anything else you want to add to that?
No, sir.
Going to pick number five. Pick five, the New York Giants on the board, and this may surprise you here. Well, no, it ain't gonna surprise you because you already seen it. But I got Cardell Tate, wide receiver out of Ohio State, going to the Giants. That gives Jackson Dart another weapon to compete in this NFC East into the NFC overall. Um, Malik Neighbors won't. There's some skepticism that he won't be there at the start of the season. So to have you a dynamic weapon in Carnell Tate, somebody that can take the top off, to have him there until Malik Neighbors gets back, and then when Neighbors gets back, oh you got Tate, oh you got Neighbors. Then I mean they did sign guys like Darnell Mooney, but those guys aren't stopping me from upgrading my offense. And so with that pick, I think that puts the Giants. Oh, and then they got the 10th pick as well. So that pick right there, I think that puts the Giants. Upgrades that offense. Harbaugh gets another receiver to start his campaign in New York. So I think that's a good spot for them right there.
Yeah, I'm not mad at that at all. Ain't much I'm gonna add to that. But I will say, tomorrow night, if you see Tyson goes here, don't be shocked. Um, some people have Jordan Tyson Robinson on their board. I think I got Lemon still is my personal favorite, but everything says Tyson checked out with his workout, his medicals and stuff. So if you hear Carnell Tate go later and hear Tyson go 5, I wouldn't be shocked at all.
Going to the sixth pick is in. Sixth pick, the Cleveland Browns selects Spencer Fanu, right, offensive tackle out of Utah, 6'6", 311. This is originally your pick. So would you want to elaborate on that?
Yeah, the final pick, it was as we've been saying all draft cycle, man, they got to go tackle. Because I feel like the run of tackles and offensive linemen are going to start early tomorrow. So if you don't get one by pick 15, 16, you're probably going to be out of luck. So then you're going to just be grabbing for people that you probably can get in the second round. So I think they go final here. He has positional flexibility, guard, center, tackle, right tackle. So I mean, you might play him at center, you might play him at guard, you might play him at tackle. And I think you swing back around here at pick 24 and get your wide receiver, which you will see later on down the road. Some people say he may go a little later, but I think where the Browns are picking right here, it makes so much sense. And I wouldn't be. Somebody said Caden Proctor too, but I don't think he's gonna go that high tomorrow. I've heard that. Been reading it the last past couple of days, but I'm gonna stick with Final right here. Final is my pick right here for the Browns, and give Shador or Watson or whoever the wide quarterback on the center come week one a good chance to compete. And I wouldn't be shocked if Tyson goes to Cleve. I mean the Giants at 6. This could be a Carnell Tate spot as well. It depends on who you have graded higher on the board, but I feel like you swing and get the tackle first, and then come back and get your wide receiver at the end of the first round, which we'll get to, like I said, here in a couple minutes.
Yeah, I feel like this is a spot where they can go in either way. When offensive tackle, wide receiver, um, a linebacker. They can go Sunny Styles. They can go a lot of different ways. They can even trade back if they want to accumulate more. But I like the pick, and it gives Shador some or whoever the quarterback is there. It gives them some type of protection going forward. So I definitely like the pick, and I think pick 7 is that's the Washington Commanders, and I think the Washington Commanders are taking Sonny Styles, linebacker out of Ohio State, seventh overall, 6'5", 244. I know you saw his combine and bringing some of the athleticism over there, to which that's a team that needs it. Frankie Louvu is going to be a free agent next year. He's getting older. You bring somebody fresh, and I mean, this is a kid that you can put off ball. You can put him at the edge spot as well. You can play him in a multitude of different ways. So I think this is a good pick for the Commanders. And then again, like we talk about with the other teams, this is a pick that the Commanders can go a multitude of different ways. They can either trade, they can either go wide receiver. If love follows to if love falls to them, I feel like that's a spot that they can go to as well, or they can trade up. So yeah, I think that Sonny Styles will go to the Washington Commanders there.
Yeah, man, I'm not mad at that at all. Because you can go. I think Reese. If Reese was here, you would pull that trigger as well. But I like I always say, this makes so much sense for me. Bobby Wagner, he's getting up there, so this might be his last hurrah. And I'll repeat this till I'm blue in the face. Um, Perfect way to usher in a new linebacker for Dan Quinn, because we know Dan Quinn had some good linebackers wherever he went. Seattle, Dallas, and I think this will just be the next in line. So I agree with this pick from you.
The pick is in for the New Orleans Saints. And the New Orleans Saints are taking cornerback Mansour Delaney out of LSU, shut down corner. I feel like that's something that they need. Kool Aid McKinstry out there can help them out on the other side. That's another team that I'm going to continue to say that they can go a multitude of different ways with the pick, but that's not a bad option to go right there. Getting one of the best, well, I think the best cornerback in this year's draft, um, going to New Orleans, right there in the home state.
And
So
right there in their backyard.
right there. So this originally is your pick, so you can go ahead and elaborate more on why you got Mansour Delaney going to the Saints.
Yeah, I know it. The Saints can go so many ways. They can go receiver here. They can go edge. They can go corner. But I'm looking at their roster. They lost Alontae Taylor. They got Kool Aid McKinstry, and I'm like, For what the coordinator? I can't think of the coordinator's name right now. Uh, drawing a blank, but he likes to do corners that can play man, that can play zone. And I feel like to get that defense back up to where it needs to be, having to shut down number one corner, and there's only maybe two that you're gonna take in the first round, or maybe one now. I think if you snatch that position up, you can lock down the Tetoro McMillans. You can have, take care of the Mecca Ibukas with Mansour Lane. Who else we got? The Drake Londons. You need somebody to take care of those guys on a weekly basis, and I think he'll be the perfect fit for what the Saints like to do. Like I said, it was hard. I could have went Lemon here. I could have went somewhere else. Bain could have been here, but ultimately, I think about this secondary and the quarterbacks in this NFC South that can throw the ball around a little bit, especially Baker Mayfield. And then you got Penix when he's on. He can throw the ball. And Bryce Young, he's growing a little bit with Tedder Roll and Trimble and those guys in Carolina. So I definitely took that into consideration.
Definitely going to be a threat over there if it falls that way. Um, oh, and don't forget about two over there too. So,
Yeah.
because I don't even know if Penix is going to be starting the season, but
Right.
yeah, definitely a weapon that you need to contain those wide receivers that you spoke on, Drake London and the Chris Godwins and Emeka Bukas and all those other guys. So yeah, actually like that pick right there. And now the pick is in for the Kansas City Chiefs at 9. And the Kansas City Chiefs, I think, will select Arvell Reese, linebacker out of Ohio State. The Chiefs defense that was a defense that's probably been one of the worst that it's been since Spag's been there. And and then over the years as well. So Karlaftis on one side, and then they don't really have a significant threat on the other side. And I think with the addition of Arvell Reese, who you can another player that you can place in multiple spots on the field, I think he would be great for that defense and to get them back to where they to a shell of what they used to be. Also, don't know if Patty's going to be there at the beginning of the season, but to bring in a defensive weapon like that, I think that's a spot that's warranted for them to go to.
Yeah, I think if Reese fell, number one, if Reese fell right here to them, this is a no-brainer. But for the sake of this argument here, he's the Chiefs pick, but I think he'll be gone. I think
Yeah.
somebody get itchy fingers come tomorrow around 8:30 and want to get up there in the top five. If he slips past I don't think he slips past the Titans, but if he do, then the Giants' phones should really ring, and we should really see some action around that pick.
And then we say that we don't think that he's going to fall to this place or that place, but we really don't know.
You don't know.
We really don't know. But I agree with you. I really don't think that he falls past like maybe 5, maybe 6, something like that. I think he'll be gone. But for the sake of what we thought, I mean, I think he still falls in the top 10. So uh, I'm just gonna go with that one right there. And I mean,
Yep.
you can't go wrong with it. So going to pick number 10. We had picked 10. Oh, the Giants. Yeah, that's right. I was
Yeah, see
wondering.
that
I
trade.
was wondering
Look
if
where
I
the
had
Bengals
my.
at.
I was definitely looking for the Bengals, but the Giants. The Giants selected Caleb Downs, safety out of Ohio State, with the 10th pick overall. Definitely a position of need right there for them, and that safety presence and another safety that you can place him in different multiple positions over the field. You seen with the work that he done with Kyle Hamilton and what's my other guy? I'm blanking on his name. They was drafted there last year out of Georgia.
Malachi
Malachi
starts.
Starks. Yeah, yeah. You seen with the work that he done with drafting those safeties. So this one right here, if he's there at 10, I think it's a no brainer for them.
Oh, for sure. It's definitely no brainer. I can see him falling a little bit. Like I know Dallas fans like praying that he gets to 12, and if that happens, that's a home run scenario for them. But put him in that secondary along with that fifth pick and Jordan Tyson, you probably got two top six players, to restart this regime. I think that's a no brainer. I don't think you have to wait the 8 minutes. Probably wait the 30 seconds to turn this card in if it's Caleb Downs still there at 10.
Okay. Um, and with the 11th pick, with the 11th pick, the Miami Dolphins, and we got the right pick now.
Mm-hmm.
The Miami Dolphins select Kenyon Sadiq, tight end out of Oregon. Man, I know the guys have seen his combine. You've seen him throughout the course of the college football season. The Dolphins, this is a need for them. Malik Willis needs a weapon, especially at the tight end position. Tight end is a quarterback's best friend. So I think with this move right here, it definitely solidifies one of the weapons for that side. It's not like they have a lot of it over there, but for you to bring in a young guy like this to start your offense off with that with a quarterback like Malik Willis, the things that he can do, I think is a no brainer right here as well.
Yeah, I don't necessarily like this pick, but to get one of the explosive weapons in the top 10, top 15, I understand it. 6'3", 244, run a 4.39. You look at those numbers and he's like, whew, it's kind of hard to pass him down. Yes, he can block in line. You can flex him out in the slot. So I get it from Miami's point of view. I probably would have went receiver here if there was one to take here. Um, or either offensive line. But this is your pick, so I respect it. But hey, I ain't mad at Kenyon Sadiq. It's your explosive weapon to help Malik Willis out and Devon Ain't for sure.
All right, pick 12 is Cowboys on the clock, and the pick is in. Jamal McCoy, cornerback out of Tennessee. Um, Probably the second best cornerback in this year's draft. There is some concerns there with what was it, a knee? A knee
Yeah.
injury. I think I sent it to you this morning. I mean, me and you even talked about it last week. But I think they possibly go different in a different position here. Um, Considering with that injury. But I mean, this is your pick. So why did you decide to go with your mom, McCoy to Dallas?
Well, I kind of put the hand in the barn with this pick maybe a couple weeks ago before the information came out about the degenerative possible knee and having one operation done down the road. So I'm gonna stick by the pick. We've seen this happen to Will Johnson around this time last year, where he got like a little scare, and then people were scared off, and then the Cardinals ended up taking him top of the second round, and it seemed like he's worked out just fine with Arizona, his first season in the league. But I think McCoy is definitely a piece on the defense that the Cowboys definitely need. They could go pass rusher here because I don't think Bain's name has been called yet. They could if Bain's here. Do you weigh McCoy? Do you weigh Baines? You probably can, go Bain here in a perfect world and then get McCoy at 20. I think he'll still be there. But for the sake of this argument, I seen the Minnesota Lane run at 8, and you don't want to lose. I'm not saying you want to draft a need at 12, but hey, after the McCoy pick, it's a drop off at cornerback. So I think it's a spot that Dallas do need to address. They may not address it at 12. So I just want the best player to me um, for that spot is McCoy. So that's why I want McCoy here in this spot.
Yes, and you never know what can happen when he gets into the league, and depending on the Cowboys staff or whatever team he goes to, and their medical team, you know the rehabbing process and all that, it could work out for him. So, but there's always a concern, at this time of the year, and we'll see how that process goes throughout his career. So, we at pick 13 now.
Mhm.
The Los Angeles Rams at pick 13 select Jordan Tyson, wide receiver out of Arizona State. Will he fall to 13? Probably not. But to me, it's still with the concerns with the hamstring. The hamstring is, I do believe, right. Um, it's no ACL, it's no Achilles, it's the hamstring, and I know that if you have injuries with the hamstring at the college level, it probably will translate over to the NFL level. And I told you off the camera. I feel like if you're having those issues now, you probably will have them at the next level, and I just see him as that type of player that will be very effective, but he'll be quite often injured, like compared to a Christian Watson, who's, when he's in, he's very effective and he's making plays, but when he's injured, it does show. You know, I like this pick right here. They, of course, they probably go in a different direction. And of course, Tyson could go a lot go a lot earlier than that too with his physical ability. So, you got anything to add to that?
No, I probably would have went. I mean, wide receiver is the correct choice here. Um,
I
was
wanted
the
to go
correct
lemon.
choice.
I wanted to go lemon here, but you picked lemon to the Jets, so I didn't want to
Yeah,
mess the pick up.
yeah. So this is how I think about it, right? And I heard this point a couple days ago. You want to get ahead of some future needs, right? 'Cause, Puka, he got some stuff going on. He stayed nicked and nacked up. Are you really gonna get him that bag that that he really want? Devontae, he
At
getting
the
up there,
tail
and
end
you
of his
probably
career.
yeah, and that contract is it's to where you're gonna have to like move on from him. So I think you address a future need here, and you go all in too. How many more years of Matthew Stafford do you have? Maybe one, two max. So you go ahead, you add that third person to this, which is Jordan Tyson. Jordan Tyson, which is a big get for them, and you try to win a Super Bowl now. Then hey, when you move off, from Devontae next year, Jordan Tyson can fit into that number two, strong and a mild number one slot, and then whatever happens with Puka, you deal with that when you deal with that. So I do like the Jordan Tyson pick here for now, and also addressing the future need as well.
All right, going to pick 14 is the Baltimore Ravens, and I'm gonna let you pronounce that.
Ola Vega, Ione. Could we call him Vega Ione for short? I
They
would do
got.
it, but that's good enough right there for sure. That's good. Because boy, I'm telling you, boy, I'm gonna listen to Roger Goodell tomorrow night. And I know he's not gonna butcher it up. If he's not gonna butcher it up, I know I'm not gonna butcher it up here in a couple of weeks. But for right now, we're gonna go Vega Eye on it for right now and keep it pushing.
And I don't feel bad for if Roger Goodell get up there and mess that name up. And I was even listening to some YouTube videos earlier just so I can pronounce the name right. Still can't. I was like, nah,
Mm.
I'll let my boy handle that one right
Vega
there.
Eye on it. That's who we're gonna roll with right now until I get it down pat. So
So, why this pick here? I can understand it. But why, to tell the audience, why did you go this pick for the Baltimore Ravens?
well, they have to they have to redo the interior, the offensive line. Think about you lost Linderbaum. It's another. It was you lost Linderbaum to Vegas in the offseason. You are already struggling in interior line anyway. So I think to get in my this is my personal opinion. I think Vega Ione is probably the top five player in the class. He's number one. If we're just going off offensive lineman alone, he's number one to me. And then everybody else falls behind him. But since he plays guard, he's nobody's going to take him and in the top five, top 10. He's a tackle, that's a different story. But I think the Ravens always have this way of getting good players that follow them in the teams. And I think this is just another long lineage of players that does that for them. And you plug and play him, and you can have him beside, Stanley or whoever your right tackle is right now, and he'll be a starter for 10 plus years with you and roll from there. Lamar wake up tomorrow morning Friday morning, knowing he can run the ball a little better with Derrick Henry, could have a little more time in the pocket to throw the ball if number 71 is your right or left guard for the future.
Absolutely. Um, yeah, I like that pick for him right there. It's not a sexy pick, but it's going to be a pick that we look at going later on in the year and looking at him as one of those guys that's building that offensive line together. So I definitely like the pick for the Baltimore Ravens. They're going to pick 15. This may surprise some folks. I went Ruben Bain Jr., defensive lineman, from Miami, 6'2", 263. He's got excellent the placement, the explosiveness. A lot of concern with the arm length, but you know what? When you got a player like him, it's definitely on the film. You cannot pass this up if you're Tampa Bay. And I was even talking to you about this earlier. But they don't really have that significant pass rusher, defensive lineman on that one side. I mean, on they got Kalijah Cansey, but he's not going to stop me from selecting him. And then I think they got a fifth round pick that they got last year. Elijah, I'm blanking on his last name, but I know they got him. But who was you about to say something?
I was trying to say, is Yaya Diaby there, or is it Yaya? Is he,
He is, but I think didn't he get hurt?
yeah, I think he got hurt. So that's what I'm trying to think now. Producer will look that up in a second to see who their pass rushers are. So, but yeah, man, this if you was to tell me, right, and I'm not gonna stay long on Tampa Bay, if you was to tell me, that I can sit at 15 and have my choice of Bane, Mazador, Zion Young, they're all sitting there for me. I'm taking Bane because of he's quote unquote the younger prospect. We know Akeem Mesidor, he's 25, he's ready to go right now. And in a perfect world, I think Akeem Mesidor will probably be the better pick here because he's ready to roll right now. His body's more. I'm not saying Bane's body's not mature, but he's longer. He's what 6'4". He has the arm length. It wouldn't be an issue with him. But hey, if Bane's sitting right here at 15, what are we doing? You turn that in quick, and you can play him at three technique, one technique, rush him outside. We all saw the Ohio State film on how he was just taking offensive linemen and running down the field with laterally with two hands. So yeah, man, I do like the Bane pick. We all know he won't be here tomorrow at 15. If I do, I'll be shocked. But for this, sake of this mock draft right here, 4.0, I think it's a great pick for the Buccaneers at to reign terror in the NFC South.
Yeah, other than pick 1 and 2, we'll probably be wrong on all of them. Just
I'll
never know.
probably sleep at pick one. I'll be like, y'all call me when the Jets get on the phone because it's just no point, but that's here and not there. So
Pick 16 is in New York Giants.
Jets,
New
you
York
mean?
New York Jets. I mean,
I mean, I'm about to say a trade happened that I ain't nothing about. Like, golly.
the Jets take Makai Lemon, wide receiver out of USC. The man, he's crazy explosive. Um, I think it him or Tyson that I had like comp to Amon St. Brown. I think it was more Tyson, but Lemon can give you just he can give you that just as well. Um, but this is your pick, so
It- so this is how I see it, right? And I'm over this, so I'm blue in the face, right? You got to put playmakers on the field for Geno Smith, right? We all know how Geno Smith his last year, panned out for him without, not I'm not gonna say great receivers, but impact receivers. And then you got Brees Hall in the backfield. And like I said, you just want to build that foundational offense. Give Garrett Wilson some help because God knows we know Garrett Wilson was double team and triple team sometimes last year. So, take a little pressure off Lemon. I mean off Garrett Wilson and put him in the slot a little bit. Let them move around and command them. Get them double teams up off him. And you got a good two tackle duo with Membu and Fashanu on the right and left side. So I think these would be an excellent pick for um, the Jets here. And I won't be surprised if it's Omar Cooper either right here. So it could be either one of those two, and either one of those would be a great. This would be a great landing spot for them.
Wow, Omar Cooper there early.
Hey man, I wouldn't be. I will understand it. I wouldn't be mad at it.
Yeah. Um, going to, I mean, I do agree with you. I think he probably will go a lot earlier than a lot most. I think a lot of people got him going second, but I like this pick right here. I did have like I think I told you when we was at the Rams pick, I had Lemon going there because it's like right in his backyard. Uh,
Hmm.
but you can't go wrong with this one either. The Detroit Lions are on the clock. Pick is in for the Detroit Lions, and I went Caden Proctor, offensive tackle out of Alabama, 6'7", 366. Uh, that
Big boy.
big boy.
Yeah.
He can take on the aggressive rushers coming in. The good footwork. I mean, he can be a good Dan Campbell project. He can do it all. So I think this is a startup for the Lions to get that offensive line right. I think they had some guys leave. Drawing a blank on them right now, but
Ragnar,
Frank
Frank,
Ragnar,
Frank
he
Ragnar, I love you.
retired.
Retired. Yeah.
Retired. I want to say, did somebody else leave too? No, they had some changes going on
Yeah,
over
they
there.
got a
So.
hole on their left side of the line. So,
Yeah, because
but
Larry Borum was on that side, but I mean, hey, you take Caden Proctor, and then you got Larry Borum, and y'all go ahead and fight that thing out in camp and see who comes out the best man. And then if
yeah.
he doesn't, and if he doesn't start right away, I mean, hey, you got time to groom and learn.
So see, I'm under the impression that if they do, so I'm torn. I like your pick with Proctor at 17. Um, but I can also see them going defensive line too. Mesut is still there. Aiden Hutchinson need help. What do you do? But the priority is get the offensive line straight. You got to keep Jared Goff up tight, upright. Um, so I see them moving Panay to the left, plug Proctor in at right, and go from there. Because I got Lance Zerline. Somebody asked him, and this is great. Who's a shot caller? And when Caden Proctor get off the bus, he's a shot caller. He's 6'7", 360 something, and you're not going to move him. He's a mountain of a man. And if he gets his head into it and get the right technique, because some coach can look at him like, give me him. I can coach him up. We can work on the footwork. We can get the weight to a respectable level. We can do all those things. Just give me the ball of clay and let me mold him. That's what y'all paying me to do. Let me get him to where he needs to go. So I like the Caden Proctor pick here. I think he'll start on the right side and then move Panay to the left, and that'll solidify your line, and then you'll see the explosive Lions like we seen a couple seasons ago when they made the playoffs and was like what number 2 seed, I believe, something like that. So yeah, Caden Proctor to Detroit. That's his sweet spot to me. So that's dead on.
Shout out Jay Quimby. He just jumped in the chat. He said Proctor is a beast with the right coach. Where were you 5 minutes ago? We were talking about Tampa Bay. We was on that Tampa Bay pick. We was trying to find out their pass rushers. I did have Ruben Bain going to Tampa. It probably wouldn't happen, but shout out to Jay, man. What's going on, brother? Um, we are at pick 18. And pick 18, we got Dylan Thineman, safety out of Oregon, going to the Minnesota Vikings. That's that Harrison. Um, so what's my guy? Why am I blanking on so many names? Um, that safety, Harrison,
Yeah,
Harrison, Harrison,
Harrison
Harrison,
Smith.
Harrison Smith. Why was I thinking Harrison Phillips? Harrison
Red day.
Smith. think of a whole nother position,
You
but
defensive tackle boy. God,
yeah, good lord. Uh, Harrison Harrison Smith. That's the Harrison Smith replacement right there. I think this is a lot. I've seen a lot of mocks have him going here, and it might be spot on. This could be one that they'll have correct tomorrow night.
Yeah, man. I've been, I had him marked here ever since what 3 to a 2.0. I think I had themed him in here, and I'm not going to change it because he's super versatile. He can cover in the slide, he can play up top, he can play play the robber position. He can do it all. So I think it'll be a great chess piece, for Brian Flores and his defense. Um, if McCoys do start to slide, I can see this be a spot for him as well. But for the sake of this mock draft here, I think Brian Flores would love this this piece for his defense. So the question is, hey, do you prefer McNeil Warren or do you prefer Thieneman? I think for the Vikings and how they want to play, I probably see a little more Thieneman than I do McNeil Warren. But McNeil Warren can easily go here, and I would have no qualms or fusses about it.
Yeah, definitely. And then you're gonna need him for your Sam Laporta problem, um,
The Tucker Craft problem, your
the
Colston Loveland and
Austin
Cole
Loveland.
Komet problem. Yeah, your Roma Doomsday problem, your Luther Burden problem, your Kristen Watson problem, your I mean your Amon Ross St. Brown problem, your Jameson Williams problem. So yeah, you come on, you Jameer Gibbs at the backfield problem. You name it, you're gonna need that that chess piece. And I think like somebody in this division has to try to stop somebody. And I think Brian Flores is gonna try to stop those three high powered NFC North teams with Kyler Murray joining the Minnesota Vikings now with Justin Jefferson, Jordan Addison, and you got Jordan Love with Watson and what's my other boy name Golden on the other side and Tucker Craft, and then you got Caleb and all his riches over there with Burden, Colston, Loveland, Komet, Rome. It's just too much, man. So getting that safety in the middle of the field that can control some stuff is huge for Minnesota.
Definitely. Pickens Carolina Panthers take Monroe Freeland, offensive tackle out of Georgia, at pick 19. So it gives Bryce Young a weapon up front. Maybe couple people probably say this is a little too early for him. Yeah. Yeah. Who knows? I think you had him in 2.0, no 3.0. You had him somewhere up here.
Yeah, I had him way up there. Remember, I had him
Yeah.
like with
You
Cleveland.
had
Remember the
Cleveland.
Buzz? Yeah, I had it with Cleveland up there at 2.0. I was
Yeah.
tweaking. I was
Yeah.
tripping too. I don't know what I was doing.
But he's quick off the ball and he has some flexibility there. And plays some SEC ball, so he's played against the best. So for him to go in this spot, and I mean, you're gonna need him considering what Atlanta's building down there in pass rushing. Um, with those guys down there, well, James Pierce is gone now, but they had the other one. They had the other one, Jalen Walker, who burst on the scene. Who else is in that division? You got guys down there with the Saints and Chase Young.
Chase Young.
You got to
Yep.
deal with them. Uh, who else? Did Tampa Bay. So I think this is the right move to go here. Get him some extra protection up front for Bryce
Yeah.
Young.
Yeah, I wouldn't be upset at the Monroe Freeland pick right here. He's a little raw. He's like you say, he plays SEC ball, so he's the best. He's the most. I think he's the most ready left. Not say ready left tackle. That's probably a bad choice of words, but he is the. mm, he's a left tackle, a true left tackle in this draft. We talked about Proctor a few picks ago being moved to the right side, but Monroe is a true left tackle because all the other offensive linemen they're right tackles. The Max Iannaccios, the Blake Millers, all those guys they're right tackles. So I mean not Colton Miller, but Monroe Freeland is a true left tackle. And I heard on I think I might have told you this, I might not have shared this with you, but on the stock exchange with Connor Hughes and Connor Rogers, sorry, he said that he reminds him of Colton Miller from when we drafted like in 2018. It came out of nowhere, and I thought about it. I was not the biggest Colton Miller fan, but John Gruden seeing his size, athleticism coming out of UCLA, he was about the same size, 6'7", three and some change, and I was like, damn, that's it. And so ever since they said Colton Miller, I cannot unsee it. I cannot unsee Colton Miller having him having the same almost draft slot. I think we picked Colton Miller 18th that year back in 2018, something like that. And this pick what 19. So is he if he has the trajectory that because Colton Miller was a project coming out of UCLA as well. If he has that kind of trajectory, he could be a top 10 tackle in the league in 3 or 4 years. And I think it'll be a home run pick for the Carolina Panthers if you do still believe in Bryce Young, which I think, them making the playoffs backdooring in was, still a vote of confidence for them. And I can see Dan Morgan, the GM of the Carolina Panthers, go Kenyon Sadiq here if he falls this far. I can see them going up and getting him, giving him another weapon outside of, McMillan, Coker, and Trimble. Why not throw Sadiq in this thing? So that's just one of my two my option B if they don't take Monroe Freeland. But Monroe Freeland right here at 19, I'm not mad at it.
Did the Panthers pick up the 50-year option of Bryce?
I think they got to like May something.
Oh, cool. Because I'm not sure if they're gonna. I don't know, but pick 20, the Dallas Cowboys. The pick is in. Dallas takes Keldrick Falk, defensive end, edge out of Auburn, 6'6", 284. I like this pick right there for them. I mean, I don't know if they'll necessarily go here, but I mean, for them to get two different defensive guys in the first, considering how bad that defense was last year, um, you can't go wrong with it. Considering like with his size and his ability that he can, be able to get to the quarterback and hurt an offensive lineman. So I do like this pick right here.
Yeah, I like it too. It may be. I know my boy George. He's a big Cowboys fan. Quan, y'all know y'all tell me if I'm wrong. But he's 20 years old. He won't turn 21 to August, so there's all that upside, and he has room to grow. He's a great run defender. Probably if you had to ask me, he probably if not one or not two, second best run defender. You know, in the class to me. And he has pass rush upside. He had a down 2025, but if you go back and look at some of the 2024 stuff, it was pretty good. I think he had maybe 7.5, maybe 10 sacks that year, and then it just dropped off for some apparent reason this year. But the tape never lies. And it's you're taking a gamble here as well. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. And I think right here with that second pick in the first round, you address corner, which is a need. And then you address defensive line, which is a need as well. Because you trade with Diggy Zua, you can play him in that role. Some people said Tyree Wilson. I can see it if you're a little leery because Tyree Wilson had all the measurables coming out of Texas Tech 3 years ago. I know that for a fact. It hasn't really worked out for him yet. In the league, he had his moments, but hey, I if you swing and you miss, it is what it is. But if you swing and you hit, then you got some on your hands for the next 10 plus years. This be a staple in that defense. So that's why I went, Keldrick Falk here, the upside. I noticed you can go, you know, my little galaxy brain, let's say wide receiver and do something with Pickens, but that's another show for another day. But for here, I went Falk to the Cowboys at 20.
Can McNeil Warren go this high realistically in tomorrow night?
Oh, absolutely. He's absolutely in play for the Cowboys here at 20. But I don't I don't think that you put that much capital in the secondary, especially when you got needs up front in the front seven as well. You see what I mean? So my thing is if Dallas stays, this could be the telltale with Dallas, right? If they stay at 12 and 20, they're taking probably a secondary and a front seven guy on defense. But if they move up, they're moving up from one guy only. And that's probably no two guys. It's either Bailey or Reese. Because you're not taking both of those first round picks and going to get Styles. You're not doing that. You pray that
No.
I mean, not Styles, but well, you're not taking. Well, I say Styles. You're not taking those two first round picks. You're not moving up for Styles. And you're not moving up for Downs. You pray Downs fall to you at 12. And if you don't, Okay, will you take the next best player on your board? If you do move up into the take those two first round picks, you move them into the top five, it's for an edge rusher. So I feel like, hey, if you stay, take your secondary and then take your a defender in the box at 20. I think Keldrick Falk makes so much sense to me.
Okay. Uh, Pick 21. I got the Pittsburgh Steelers taking Ty Simpson, quarterback out of Alabama. Um, remember when Dan Orlovsky jumped on ESPN and he was talking about Ty Simpson, being one of at the beginning of the season, he's going to be one of the top quarterbacks in this year's draft, and then his play diminished. Not well, yeah, I mean to him too, but I mean then you had some receivers go out, offensive line go down. Um, I think if he's here at 21, I think the Steelers cannot pass him up because you don't. Even though the Steelers haven't offered Aaron Rodgers a contract, who else do you have on that roster other than the quarterback that you drafted in the sixth round last year and what Mason Rudolph? So I think if and the draft is in Pittsburgh, so you got to give these fans something to cheer about, something to get the blood pumping going into the season. And I think with a quarterback like with like Ty Simpson, and then you got Mike McCarthy, who's good at coaching quarterbacks. You put those two together in the marriage, I think then I mean you see what happens.
Yeah, I don't hate this pick. I probably would have went to Wales wide receiver, probably, or somewhere else.
But
But
then don't forget, I didn't mean to cut across
no,
you, but they do got DK, and then they traded
Pittman.
for Pittman. So I mean, I feel like my judgment. I feel like whatever receiver that you can get, you maybe you can go younger. You know, you
Yeah,
still do have Roman Wilson there, who still hasn't proved himself.
that's my thing. Like, and do you trust Roman Wilson? You know what I'm saying? Do you think about taking a KC Concepcion there? Do you take an offensive lineman there if there's one to take? In my 3.0, I took an offensive lineman. And I said I didn't know about Broderick Jones. I think I took Monroe Freeland in 3.0. But to your choice, I understand it. But this pick to me was this pick will not be a pick for this year. It'll be a pick for 2027. And I don't know if the Steelers organization is willing to do that, knowing that Aaron Rodgers could potentially be there 1 year. So if Ty Simpson's there at 21 and they pick him, this is a draft and stash type of move because A Rod's going to if he plays, he's going to be the starter. Then he's going to play all year, and then like you said, outside even if they do have even if they do get A Rod, I'm not mad at the pick because I don't have faith in Will Howard and Mason Rudolph after Aaron Rodgers. So it makes sense to me in that matter. So there's if they do take Ty, let's just say, hey, let's punt to 20, not punt to 2027, but hey, just know that 2027, this will be your football team to take us into the future.
Yeah, definitely. Uh, Ready to go to 22
Yeah.
with the 22nd pick in the 2026 draft. The Los Angeles Chargers select Caden Proctor, defensive tackle out of Ohio State.
Caden McDonald.
What did I say?
Caden Proctor, you had him going twice.
God. Yeah, I'm tired. Caden, Caden McDonald. I'm sorry, man. I got Caden McDonald from Ohio State, defensive tackle. Um, Going to the Chargers. I think this is a big need for him. Yeah, I think this is a good pick for them as well. I think they definitely do go here. Um, with the choice of positions that they do have, I think if you got an opportunity to get a monster like him, you can't pass him up.
At
And
all.
go to a Harbaugh led team. that I don't know exactly what their ranking was against the run, but I mean, shit, he can against the run, interior pass rushing, he can do it all. So I like this pick for them. I don't like it because it's them, and you can attest to that as well. But for the sake of being analysts and just media members of the of the sport, I do like this pick for them.
Yeah, I like it too. I think this is probably my favorite pick of the first round because of what I seen. And I told you maybe a couple months ago, like, bro, I watched him versus Indiana. And I was like, I was watching Downs and Styles, and I was like, who is number 98 in the middle? And is he eligible this year? And lo and behold, he came out, and I was like, somebody better start putting some eyes on him. And the national media guy went to it before I did, though. But I won't too far behind him on Cade McDonald. I can see him definitely going in this area. They got other needs as well. Interior offensive line. They can go because you got Alton, you got my boy Slade on the tackle, so you're good there, barring injuries. But receiver is a sneaky need for them too. You get inconsistency out of Quentin Johnston. You got Lad McConkey. You don't Keenan Allen's not there. You got Rondé Gaston. Keenan Allen free agent. You got Rondé
Oh,
Gaston.
I thought he was still there.
As, yeah, he's a free agent. He's a free agent deal. He's a free agent though. I think something to a 1 year deal. You got a Rondé Gaston just tight end, so you can look for another pass catcher. Then I did hear rumblings that they said that Quentin Johnson is not up for trade, but normally when smoke come out like that, there have been some conversation somewhere. So a receiver can be definitely a need for them. If there's one right here to take like a Denzel Boston will make perfect sense for them. I can see them going pass rush. T.J. Parker here, Cassius Howell here if they decide to go that route, but I don't think Cassius Howell is that type of player. So more of a T.J. Parker guy, a 4-3 down, defensive lineman. So, but for the sake of this, mock draft, I took some interior help where they need it. Because Tyler Tart and he's getting up there in age and whatever the case may be. I took Cade McDonald for the Chargers.
Excellent. Speaking of Denzel Boston,
Ooh, I hope he slides to the second round.
23rd pick, the Eagles take Denzel Boston, wide receiver, out of Washington. Uh, you can't. If I'm the Eagles, and remember, post June 1st, that's what seems to be the target date. It could be before that they intend on trading AJ Brown. I don't know if for sure if it's to the Eagles. I mean to the Patriots, but that they seem to be the front runners. But if that happens, then you have to, okay, get him out of here. Okay, put a 6'4" guy in here that you can throw it up and he can come down with it. I mean, great length. You know what I'm saying? Uh, just I mean, I don't like the quarterback situation for him because what I mean. You see Jalen Hurts now, and the concerns there, but I think this is a tremendous spot for him. You can't go wrong with
Nah, man, I think this makes sense. You have David Boston. I mean, David Boston. Um,
it. Look, as I was making the
I
graphic,
can't help it. Denzel Boston. You got Smitty. Uh, Yeah, man, it makes sense. I think AJ Brown trade is going to be post June 1, so they can save some relief on the cap. So I think that makes all the sense in the world. They can go offensive lineman as well. If Monroe Freeland's right here or Blake Miller's right here, Lane Johnson in his last year of his contract, he's always been in the league since 2013. That could be an easy slide in spot for Blake Miller to slide in for Philly. But I got one more for you here. I know this is kind of going off topic, but I'm gonna stay here for like 3 minutes. With all the rumblings surrounding Jalen Hurts, right? About hey, he's off script, changing plays in the huddle and whoop 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 whoop. What if they pull the trigger on Ty Simpson here and stash him?
I I wouldn't be surprised, but I
Because
would be surprised if that makes sense.
you can get off Jalen's contract. I think after next year, you have some relief, some room to do something. So there's really that impasse in the road and that cross. We know it's not happening. Of course, it's not. We know it.
Anything's possible.
Yeah, shoot. Yeah, you're right about that. But what if they? What if Philly? Like it's like lurking and say, "Hey, let's move on. We can get out of Jalen's contract after next year. Let's draft Ty Simpson here and stash him for a year." I don't know. That's a thought. Because remember that year they draft was it a year that they drafted Carson Wentz in what 2016 and then drafted Jalen Hurts the next year, the year after that in the second round, and Madball was like, yeah, yeah, they was like, yo, what's going on? Why
I
did
don't
you
know if
do
it was
that?
the next year.
It may have been like a couple years after that
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
because
yeah,
I think
yeah.
because remember they went to
When the
I
Super
think
Bowl was
Super Bowl
17,
17. Nick
I wouldn't say
Foles
it's
won the
18.
18. And right, Nick Foles won Super Bowl, and then Carson Wentz took back over, and they drafted Hurts in the second round the year after that.
Yep.
I'm not saying, but that's just me galaxy braining. But let's keep going. Pick number 23. Let's go because I talk about this for an hour. So
We all right. We on pick 20. Pick 24. Pick is in.
24. Sorry.
And the Cleveland Browns select Kevin Casey Concepcion, wide receiver out of Texas A&M, formerly of NC State. Um, I like this move right here. Gives another weapon for Cleveland. A little concerned with the drops there, but hey, I'm all for it. He got excellent speed. Catching in traffic. Run after the catch. I like this pick. I wish we were uh, able to get keep our 30th overall pick, and maybe we can stash him. But hey, I'm happy with what we got. Uh, but yeah, I definitely like this pick for Cleveland here.
Yeah, man, I think it made all the sense in the world. They got that tackle at 6, or that offensive lineman at 6, and they come back at that wide receiver like we had spoke about. I think Casey Concepcion makes a lot of sense here. He's probably who would be he. So let me tell you, well, Lim is my wide receiver one because he's my type of player. But Casey Concepcion, if the drops wasn't a thing or whatever the case may be, he'll be right there battling for that one of those top 3 spots. He's a great separator. He's a good route runner. He has speed. He can run by defenders. Played in the SEC. He's seen a whole lot of press coverage playing LSU and Minnesota Lane. Playing Alabama. With Caleb Downs. He's seen some of the top guys um, in that conference. So Colton Hood, Jamar McCoy, he's seen all those guys. Had a little. They put him in the backfield at NC State a little bit, so he's been a gadget guy. He do everything. So I think for Tom Monken and what he want to do on offense, to give either Deshaun or Shador or whoever the quarterback may be a weapon, I think that makes perfect sense for him. I love Casey Concepcion. He's probably like outside of Lemon, he's probably my second favorite wide receiver
Hmm.
in this class, probably outside of Lemon.
Yeah, I definitely I like him too as well. Um, since he was at NC State, I knew he was one of them ones.
Yeah, but you
But
call him Kevin Concepcion. I was like, who is that? I was like, I kept first name is Kevin. I was like, who this name in the first round we ain't never talking about? But I keep forgetting his name. First name is Kevin. Like, golly.
uh, yeah, so we good on Cleveland here.
Yeah.
So going to the 25th pick, the Chicago Bears. I think they take Peter Woods here, defensive tackle out of Clemson. He's got good frame, nice little raw power to him. Um, Explosiveness, good at the point of attack with the interior rush, run stopping ability and all that. So I think this is a good spot for Chicago, especially because they had some trouble stopping the run last year, and this is your Josh Jacobs problem. I don't think nobody is a problem for Josh Jacobs, and you know that. But it's Josh Jacobs' problem. This is your who else is in that division?
Aaron Jones problem.
Aaron Jones. Um, your Jameer Gibbs coming in.
Isaiah Pacheco problem.
Yeah, so I like this pick for the Bears. I think they'll go here.
Yeah, man, I'm not upset at Peter Woods being here. I don't think he goes in the first round. I probably want to take a risk on either like Banks here because I think he got cleared for his foot today. But I don't know if Banks makes it to this, second, first, second round or first round or whatever. This is a TJ Parker spot here as well. I can see the Bears going McNeil Warren as well. If he falls to them right here to help out that secondary. Because I can't think of who that safety is right now, but I'm pretty sure McNeil Warren's a better player than whoever it is right now.
I think it might
Who
be
did,
Kobe Bryant over there. Ain't it?
he did come over 80.
Yeah.
Okay. But McNeil Warren can still go right here. Um, yeah, man. But Peter Woods, he had a damn year at Cleveland. Some people had him as a top 10 pick at the beginning of the year, rightfully so. Um, 2025 was down. 2024, we had like 10 sacks. He gives you a little bit of push in the middle of his pass rush, but there's some stuff to unlock there. He got to mature a little bit, but I wouldn't be mad if the Bears pulled the trigger here.
Pick 26, Buffalo Bills. And I got the Bill. You got the Bills taking
Yeah,
CJ Allen, linebacker out of Georgia. Um, it, I thought it was a little too high. Not too high, but I thought maybe the Bills would go in a different direction. I thought you would go in a different direction here with the Bills, to be honest. So, why did you decide to go CJ Allen here?
because at some point, man, it's like sometimes we overthink things. And people was pushing CJ Allen for his pro day for running a four or whatever. He didn't look good in drills. But I don't get. Excuse my language, but I don't give a crap about pro days and shorts and t-shirt, bro. We put on the tape and we see what he do. He a baller, bro. He a thumper. He coming to hit you he downhill. We all know how the Georgia linebackers play from a N'Kobe Dean, Nolan Smith, Quay Walker. We done seen him. So I feel like Buffalo needs that in the middle of their defense. Matt Milano, he's a good player, but he's getting older. You could have addressed interior defensive line here. You could have addressed wide receiver here, but I think DJ Moore coming over along with Shakir and hopefully Keon Coleman can kick back and give you to what give you some of that production that like we seen at Florida State a couple of years ago. So I just went CJ Allen here. I could have went Anthony Hill here too, as well, but I was debating back and forth. But I think man, he's just a first round player to me, all day long. So I just want CJ Allen here. I just wanted to fit him in the first round.
Okay, not mad at it. Like you said, Matt Milano is getting older. And that could be if he is drafted, there could be a battle that they can have there, in TC in preseason. So we'll see what happens there. Going to pick 27 here. And got Akeem Mesidor, defensive end from Miami, going to San Francisco. And San Francisco could have went. They could have went offensive line here. They could have went another possible receiver here. But I decided to take Akeem Mesidor here. You don't know how long Bosa is going to be there. Uh, Considering his injury history, but I mean, you could also put somebody else on the other side as well. So I think he helps out. His explosiveness come bursting off the line. Um, it gives San Francisco an extra pass rusher and somebody an extra person against the run, that I think could be significant. So that's where I went.
Yeah, I understand. I probably would I push back here a little bit. I probably would have been offensive line. I probably went low move from Utah here, only because he can play left tackle and Trent Williams is on the final stages of his career. He signed another 2 year deal.
True.
So I probably would have drafted Lomu to like be a development left tackle for them and go that way. Another reason why I say that as well because they drafted Michael Williams number 9 overall. You still got Nick Bosa. You traded for a Diggy Zua from the Cowboys,
It's gonna be
and
a
you
little
got Fred,
crowded.
yeah, Fred Warner, and you got Dre Greenlaw back in San Francisco. So it probably be a little too much of a crowd. I would have liked to help that offensive line out, but hey, is Mesidor right there at 27? I don't think San Francisco drafts him. I think somebody tried to jump them to get to him. Probably like Seattle or either Chicago or either Carolina take him beforehand. So, but from your draft, he was available. Take the best player available, and he can definitely help you in the room somewhere along. Because you like you said, Nick Bosa injuries, he might be knock on wood, something might happen week 2, and then hey, you gotta step in and take over that range. But for this sake of this spot, Mesidor's older. He's already ready to roll, so just be a plug and play guy. Hey, go get the quarterback. So that's what I would have done, but I ain't mad.
As you were saying earlier, by him being older, experienced, ready to roll. You were saying that earlier with the Ruben Bain pick that we were talking about with Tampa Bay. Um, I do agree with you. And I said even when I was picking it, they could go offensive line here. Um, but yeah, for him to be in that spot, right, and also I think I heard somewhere doing the grapevine somewhere that he could possibly go a little earlier than that.
Oh,
So
for sure.
yeah,
Hey, listen, 15 up in there. I would not be shocked if Baltimore. Hey, let's go. And another thing, another need for San Francisco is wide receiver as well.
mm.
Outside of my boy from Florida, Ricky Pearsall, Mike Evans, you only know he only there for 2 more years probably.
Got hammy issues.
Got hammy issues. Kittle, he had WrestleMania with an Achilles tear, chugging beers. So how much more of Kittle you got left? We don't know. So wide receiver is probably another need there for them.
Tight end could be a
Tight
could be a
end,
could be a
tight
Eli
end.
Stowers.
Yeah,
Eli
Eli
Stowers. You
Styles
think?
could be in the second round, but I think he'll be gone before a San Francisco pick. In the second round, y'all could be looking at Stowers, as well. So who knows? Or I mean, y'all got Troutman though, but y'all
Going
good.
to the next pick here.
All right, pick.
Folks trying to be fun. Trying to be funny today.
We're trying to hurt somebody's feelings today out here, boy. Golly, I had to do it. You did it to me earlier. I had to do it. I started to bring up Alex Singleton, but I know Troutman to kill you a little more though, so that's why I did it.
Hey, respect, man. Pick 29. Was it pick 29? No, that's pick 27. No, pick 28. Houston Texans. Chase Besantis.
Yes.
Chase Besantis, offensive guard, Texas A&M. Um, it's a need for them, to go to for them to go here. And CJ needs some protection here. Considering what happened to him last year, and he was out here throwing picks left and right. So uh, I like his frame, like the work. So it, you went here with this pick,
Yep.
right?
I went here with this pick because we want to protect CJ. I know they did some got Braden. I think they got Braden Smith from the Indianapolis Colts. Um, yeah, man, it's all about CJ Stroud, man, keeping him upright. And that makes total sense. Could have went defensive line too. You can go linebacker because you could have Anthony Hill could have went here because after Christian Harris left in free agency, you got Henry To'o, and after that, what you got Isaiah Shahir. He's up on the old. He's a little getting up there in age as well. So he could have went Anthony Hill, here as a linebacker, Chase Besson, but I want the offensive line to protect C.J. Stroud because they gave Will Anderson a monster mega deal, and C.J. Stroud deal is coming as well. And I think that 2023 Texans draft class is probably one of the best classes, heavy at the top I've seen in a long time.
Yeah. So going on to pick, and I went Manuel McNeil Warren, safety out of
I
Toledo.
cry if this happened.
Right. I went here with the for the Chiefs. Um, It is. I was looking at the depth chart while doing this, and I mean, man, if he falls to them, that would be crazy. 6'3", ball skills. Um, you can name it. He can do it. I wouldn't like it if this pick came to them, but I decided to go here with the Chiefs. With Emmanuel McNeil Warren.
Yeah, man, I would be pissy if this came down and came to be true. But hey, the Chiefs has holes, man. They have holes in wide receiver, offensive tackle, cornerback, safety. So they got to address them. And they took, they addressed one with at pick 9. So I mean, they got to address another one here at pick 29. So I don't hate it at all for the Chiefs, but I definitely hate it for us because he's a one of them dudes. But yeah, man, I like this pick for real. I mean, I wouldn't be shocked if he's there and he's their pick come tomorrow night.
Yeah, he's a dog, man. Going on to pick 30. And at pick 30, you took Colton Hood, cornerback out of Tennessee, for the
Hmm
30th pick. I'm surprised you didn't go Terrell here.
I I could have went Avion to I wanted to go Avion. It was still these three corners. It was Avion, it was Chris Johnson, and it was Colton Hood, right? But me thinking, where Jeff Halfley come from, he wants to play that press, man coverage scheme from Green Bay, and I think Colton Hood on tape opposite Jamal McCoy did very well, in those areas. So it was a tiebreaker, flip a coin, and I just went Colton Hood here because his name getting a lot of traction, a lot of buzz in the first round. You normally want to follow the smoke, follow the tea leaves, and that made the most sense for here for me. But Avion running a 4.6, I don't think it's going to be an issue. I know he was having hamstring problems, but I think if he goes Avion here, I would not be shocked at all.
Yeah, you can go either or with them, with Avion or Colton. I didn't watch too much film on Colton. I did watch film on Avion. Uh, but I mean, I trust your judgment on that. So, going on to pick 31, and I'm gonna need your help with this name because once again, I can't pronounce it. And you,
Max Iheanacho.
Max Iheanacho, offensive tackle out of Arizona State, got him going to New England. As you seen in the Super Bowl, when New England had some trouble protecting Drake May. Um, so I think with this pick right here, you bring in another guy in to help solidify the line. You took Will Campbell last year. Take another young guy this year and kind of show up that offensive line and see if New England can get back to where they were next year, this year coming up.
Yeah, man, I'm not mad at the offensive tackle spot. Everybody want to pick on the Super Bowl, and that's rightfully so. The line struggle. Will Campbell wasn't healthy on the left side majority of the playoffs, so that's why he struggled a little bit. Morgan Moses getting up there in age, so plugging Max and Nacho right there in his spot will make sense to me. Um, but from for this mock, I probably would have went Cassius Howell, give my edge, another edge defender, because I don't really think they have anybody because they lost. My homeboy, he went to the Commanders. On the,
Mafe? No, 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 not
no,
Mafe.
Boye Mafia went to the Bengals.
Yeah.
I can't drawing a blank on his name right now. He signed a 1 year deal with them. He was the first round pick a long time ago. I'm drawing a blank. I can't think of his name right now. But producer, keep going. I'm gonna look it up right quick.
Yeah, but as you were saying, with the line issues, um, with Vrabel over there as head coach, and working with that line the way he does, that could be a pretty good spot for him, and a good spot for Drake May having another security blanket over there as well. Did you figure out the name?
Yes, Caleb Von Chase on. He signed with the Commanders. That's who
Okay.
it was. I couldn't figure it out who it was, but Kalen Von Chason. I think Cassius Howell will be, or R. Mason Thomas, more Cassius Howell, but bigger fit here. But I'm not mad at the Max Iheanacho pick at all. It makes sense, and you're gonna start seeing some of those teams in the bottom of the first round get these second round tackles, and just just to get that, so they won't miss out on them. If that makes sense.
Kalen chasing a former first round pick, isn't it?
Yep, that's why I said former first round pick, and I just could not spit his name on my mouth to save my soul.
Former high round pick too, I
Yeah, he was
believe.
a
He was up there.
top 15, top 10, I want to say, somewhere around there. I don't know. Couldn't remember.
The last pick in the first round. And the Seattle Seahawks decided to go Jadarian Price, 5'11", 203 running back out of Notre Dame, who's the backup to Jeremiah Love. I love the tape from him. And, Seattle coming off their Super Bowl run, losing Kenneth Walker. Who's my other guy? The Charbonnet. He had the season-ending injury, so you don't know for sure if he's going to be there to start the season. So, you got to get you a running back in there somewhere. And this could be a spot as well where they move back because they only got four draft picks. So I think this we said this in mock 1, 2, 3, and we're gonna say it in 4 too. So. Yeah, I do. I really ideally think that they move back to just accumulate a couple more picks, or more or whatever. But I do like the pick though. If they decide to go here, I wouldn't be mad at it.
Yeah, this is definitely a trade back spot, but for the sake of this mock final one, maybe we'll do trades next year. But I want to give him Jadarian Price. We all know Arizona's probably going to come up and try to get Ty Simpson, if not here, a couple picks before. Because what I'm hearing and what I'm reading from everybody that's plugged in the league, that the back half of the first round is trying to trade out. So we might see, the Chargers get back. Hey, Arizona, you want to come up to 22, get Ty Simpson? Come on, get him. And teams, behind the Chargers. So, but I think Ty Simpson will go in the first round. The Seahawks will be coming out, and then I think at the end of day one, there'll be some good players left on the board, and Jets will have some decisions to make. Comes Saturday. I mean Friday. Sorry, Friday evening at 8 o'clock. But I took Price here. I could have went. I wanted to go Malachi Lawrence to replace Boye Mafe off the edge for them that sound the Cincinnati Bengals on the 3 year 60. But, you know, have Kenneth Walker leaving a big hole in that backfield with uncertainties about Zach Charbonnet. I just went to Darian Price here.
Yeah, I totally understand it. And with trades next year, I think next year we'll do the trades. Like we're gonna have to be like really smart about it. Like, what team do you think really needs to move up or wants to move into the first round, and especially on that back end half?
Oh,
So,
because let me tell you, 2027, there's going to be some rumbling and shaking, boy. People will be trying to get up because we know certain names and certain quarterbacks are going to be in this class. So it's going to be some moving and shaking next year for sure.
Jeremiah Smith, I believe he comes out next year as well, right?
Yeah, you got Jeremiah, you got Cam Coleman, you got Dylan
Ryan
Stewart.
Williams.
Yeah, Ryan Williams. You got Dylan Stewart in South Carolina. You got Colin Simmons at Texas. You got C.J. Carr. You got Lenore Sellers. You got Julius Sand. You got Arch Manning. You got Leonard Moore from Notre Dame. Hey, bro, I'm already on 2027. So if we want to start this summer, we can. I'm already on it. So I'm already to hit it. We're gonna take a little break. We're gonna breathe a little bit. Get through schedule release and all that stuff. But I'm already ramping up for 2027. I can think I got about 15, 16 names right now that I'm invested in. But nevertheless, go back to the subject at hand here. Um, Arizona's going to definitely move up, and people will be trying to move out and get picks for next year to have ammunition to move around and do what they want to do for sure.
One move that we did not name that you feel will happen in night one.
Mm. One move that we didn't name that I feel like will happen in night one. I think the cornerback Chris Johnson from San Diego State goes in the first round at the bottom. I think he goes. Um, I think Rutledge probably go in the bottom. Um, a sleeper, a dark horse, Chris Bell, the wide receiver from Louisville. If medicals check out, he's a sleeper to go in the bottom of the first round. Yeah, those are three names for me that I can think of off the top of my head that has the opportunity to go in the first round that we really didn't talk about.
And one move that you did name, one name that you did it mentioned is Caleb Banks out of Florida. He could be going in the first round. He could.
Could
Uh, but hey, that's
he got man
we'll,
he's so enticing, man, because he got some Chris Jones in him, bro. I'm sorry, I just want to I see it when I see it, I see it. And I ain't saying I'm always right. Of course, I've been wrong more times than I've been right, but I see a little bit of Chris Jones in him if he really, really puts it together. But if you can get that 6'6", three something, yeah. He was and at the combine, he was on a broken foot working out, so he wasn't even full strength. So do the math.
well, that concludes our fourth and final mock draft. I don't know what we're gonna do for next year.
No,
Next
man.
year we may be in DC.
Oh, next year we will be in DC. There is no ifs,
Next
ands, or buts about that.
year,
We right up
next year,
3 hours up the street. We definitely gonna be in DC, and we and hopefully we're in a better spot to where we can get some stuff, so where we can give y'all some back behind the scenes, action as well. If the Lord let us and bless us to see that part, we're gonna keep working on it for sure. But next year we will be in DC. How they said, boots on the ground.
boots
Boots
on the
will
ground.
be on the ground for sure next year.
Uh,
Um, yeah,
maybe possibly some interviews with some draft future draft picks. I mean, we don't know insiders. We don't know. But
we and anything is possible. It's not. Sometimes it says not what you know is who you know. Sometimes so anything's possible, man. But yeah, I'm excited, man, for tomorrow night, especially for me. Um, it's going to be, finally, everybody has had their chance to get their first round quarterback, number one overall quarterback for a while. And I think it's our turn, to see what this young man can do. He's going to have a whole lot of expectations being number one overall quarterback. You know that from having Peyton Manning's in your franchise, having John Elways, the Jake Plumbers. You know what comes with that. I think this young man is prepared. Prepared for the challenge. I would like to see him hit the field week one, but hey, I need you to do everything right now to be the best pro you can be. And yeah, man, we'll keep building this team around him. We know there's no mystery at number one. The draft really starts at number two. Um, and after tomorrow night, I can tell you the vibe of Vegas when we get on for probably schedules and stuff, schedule release. 'Cause I will be in Vegas the week of the 27th through the 3rd. I'll be out there, boots on the ground in Vegas. So you'll see me with. I'm bringing some stuff back, some Mendoza stuff back. I'm bringing everything back when I go. I told Larry I'm gonna get his address and send him some stuff, and don't even open it up because you know what it's gonna be. Don't burn it either, but you know what it's gonna be. We're gonna have to move some furniture up in the town though. But I will be out there in Vegas for a week. Getting the buzz of the city, getting you to feel. And then when I get back, schedule will be out before then, and we
in
should get
May,
into mini camps in May. So when I get back, mini camp should be starting. You know, then I can give you the vibe of what I've talk to people out there about. Hey, what you think about Mendoza? And I can give you a little more in depth detail about what people saying out there, man. But for the most part, man, I'm super duper excited from pick one to pick 32. Some teams don't have first round picks because they traded for Waddles, they traded for Dexter Lawrence's, they traded for you name it, So those are those guys' first round picks, and they're known commodities, established commodities in the league. Even though I may hate to say this, I'm excited for Denver to see what they do with their offense now. With Sean Payton, Jalen Waddle, Cortland Sutton, Adam Troutman, R.J. Harvey, and that gang out there. I'm anxious to see what the AFC West does. I'm interested to see what the AFC South does. Especially Tennessee, um, the AFC East, especially with the Jets having two first. All these teams with multiple first round picks. I want to see how they maneuver up and down the board. They're going to stick and pick, Or are they going to try to jockey get position for this player? Or are they going to try to move down to get ready for next year? Especially the Giants and Jets, two teams that share the same stadium with multiple first round picks. That's going to be interesting. The Chiefs, having a down year. Mahomes tearing his ACL, him coming back this year. They got picks 9 and 29. Do they move both of those picks? They go up and get a Bailey, or do they take care of the offensive line to swing back around and get you a corner? Or so many, they got so many needs, man. So the teams with multiple first round picks, I'm interested to see how they maneuver tomorrow night. And the Jaguars, Broncos, y'all not picking into the second round. Are you going to be patient? Do you see somebody that you want to see at the top of the second round? Are you going to be patient? I need that guy. Let me go up and get him. Or are you going to stick and pick? So it's so much stuff that can happen tomorrow. And I'm predicting before we get off here, and I'm gonna let you talk. I'm predicting at least 6 trades tomorrow night in the first round, whether it's come vet players or people just moving back, moving forward. And I think Kyle Pitts gets traded once again, either tomorrow night or Friday night, get traded to Kansas City to address the Travis Kelsey issue that's coming when he finally puts his boots on the ground at the end of this year.
I feel low key like that Kyle Pitts spot. That Kyle Pitts is the whoever's trading for him. I feel like Atlanta's phone is like ringing off the hook right now
And
because you
Denver
got
should be
more.
calling.
Yeah, I hope we are, but I feel like multiple teams are like their phone is nonstop. And remember, and usually around this time anyway, you got phones just nonstop, just going off, going off. One thing I wanted to say while you were in Vegas, I hope you plan on being in that building somewhere, trying to get in that building somewhere. You gotta at least get in the building somewhere, talking to the inside or somebody. You got to. Yeah, I know you out there for a certain reason, but you gotta get in that building somewhere somehow. And I know you want to because that's your team. Because I know you want to.
I'm going to know somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody that knows somebody. I'm trying my best because I'm trying my best. I'm gonna try my best to get somebody that knows somebody that can get in that building, or at least if not get in the building, at least put me in the room or put me on with a connect with somebody that knows somebody because I'm definitely gonna be boots to the ground while I'm out there too, for sure, for sure.
Definitely. We didn't talk enough. Draft is Draft is tomorrow night. Let me know in the comments how you think we did on the mock draft. Who do you guys have? Do you think how many trades do you think you got? 6 teams in this draft that are picking twice in the first round. 6 teams. So let us know how we did. Let us know what you think. What's going to happen? What odd things? What wild things you see? That's going to happen in this draft. Um, Great job, Amon, as always. We will be back maybe Friday to go through the first round and
Yeah.
so on and so forth. So thank you for everybody tuning in. And we'll see you guys soon.